welcome back to the next video. This video will be talking about how we save our items. So in a previous video, we showed a video on how to detect the device ID, the unique ID. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to change our code around a little bit, and we're going to save the unique ID. We're also going to pick up the operating system and the token as well, and we're going to save that to the database. In this video, I'll show you how to save it to a Firebase environment, which will be using a NoSQL database. In future reference, we'll be making an API call to an existing API that we have, and so it'll be just a very small change in our code. Instead of making a reference to Firefox and saving it there, or Firebase, not Firefox, you'll just make an API call and it'll do the same stuff, which is good because we need the token in order to send the notification. All right, so we'll get started. First things first, I'd recommend to log into your Firebase environment. So what I would do, I already have an environment set up, so I'd run into your Firebase and log into your existing environment that we just used for existing project. So go to console, I name mine family house, somewhere here, yep. So I name mine family house, so you go into there, and then what you want to do is you want to go to database. I already have a database set up for this, so I'm not going to set up a new one, but what you want to do here is actually, let's see, maybe we don't want to do that. 1 second. So go down here, see all Firebase features, click Cloud Firestore. All right, so why is it not showing me that? I just want to go to, okay, so you can come here, you could just go to database. You have two different databases, Cloud Firestore, we want real-time database. And then what you want to do is you want to set up a new environment. So like, for example, let's say I'll go to a different project so I can show you what I'm talking about. So let's do Android post notifications. So this one doesn't have anything, so I can show you what I'm talking about. So come down here, databases, since there's not one there, so this is good. Since there's not one here, and this is what you'll get the first time, you'll come here and do create database, and for testing purposes we'll do it start in test mode, hit enable, and then here what you want to do is set up your environment. So oops, all right, go back. All right, so we want to call this users, and we want to create a child. We could call it unique ID, and then we want to create another child, and here we want to call it, we want to collect 3 different things. So we want to connect, let me see what I have over here just to double check. Firebase, go to console, family house, database. All right, so I have a unique ID, I have device ID, token, and type of device. So unique ID, all right, so we want to have device ID, okay, and then click this, and then we want to have token, and then we want to have, what did I call it? Type of device. Perfect, and hit add. So that's what we want in this environment right here. So data, why did it not save it? Okay, hold on. Users, unique ID, I'll give it some type of value, so I'll add it. There you go. So that's what you have to do to get it started. And there you go. So you have your environment set up. So you want to make sure that you have your database set up in order for this to work. All right. So let's go over to our code. And let's see. We want to create a new class. So we're going to go over to Java right here. And we're going to right click, new Java class. And I'm going to call this one items. Because I'm going to be, you could call it anything, but I'm just calling it items because I'm going to be collecting a bunch of different data. So hit OK. Perfect. So in this video right here, I'm showing you, we're going to be using the onCreate. So when the app loads, it automatically goes and does this information. So this will be a good way for you to find out other ways that you can save stuff. All right. So let's go to our main Java real quick, and we're going to go in this section. Now, we're not going to really use this stuff, but I'll leave it here for now. So I'm going to come down here, and we already have this. We're not going to be using this way. We're going to be changing this around a little bit to capture it differently. So we want to create a shell for saving our items. So we're going to create a new void. So let's do that first, and then we'll come back to that. So we'll come down here, and we will do a private void, and I'll do save items, and I'll pass in. So we're looking for a string, device ID. We're looking for token, and then we're looking for device type. So what I'm thinking here on device type is I am looking to capture whether it's a Apple device or if it's a Android device. So we could capture that in the database and see how many times and then obviously that unique ID will represent the information. All right. So what we did is we set up a private call that we're going to use for now, private method. So what we need to do here is we need to go into this Firebase instance that we have here. So we're going to change some stuff around here. So for now, I'm going to comment this out. So I'm not going to use that anymore. So really, right now that token, it's not being used, but it will be used eventually. So what we want to do here is we want to save, we want to call this save items here, and then we want to pass in some values. All right, so let's see, first things first. So we'll have to change some stuff around here a little bit. So we'll pass in device ID, token, and device type. So we don't have values for that. This one right here represents the token. So let's come up here and take care of that first. So let's say string device ID equals, and this is something I showed you guys in class settings, secure dot get content resolver. All right, and then we need to do Android provider settings. So let's do that real quick. Import Android provider settings. Perfect. All right, so that way we can use that. So, all right, so get resolver, and we will do comma settings dot secure dot Android ID. Oops, there we go. Now I need to close it. All right, doesn't like it though. What did I do wrong? Settings secure dot, oh, forgot something. Get string, that might work. All right, so there's that one. The other one is we'll do string device type equals system dot get property. Now you could change this. I'm gonna do os dot version. You can do multiple things here. And this will give us Android or iOS, and that's all we need. All right, so we're gonna come back down here on save items, and now we could pass in based off of how we have this. So by device ID, we can just do device ID, comma, and then we can do token, comma, and then we can do device type. There we go. So now we're passing those values in. We'll call this method, and this method will eventually do something. Okay, so that's a starter. So let's go over to the items class right here. And we need to create a constructor for this to work, because we'll need to call back to the constructor. So what is a constructor? So think of it like it's a subroutine that is basically called for it to create an object, a new object. So in preparation, it sets up the object to be used, and it allows it to accept arguments that the constructor is able to use, so it's able to set the variables in place. So think of it as a good friend, and you're giving him or her a secret, and then later on you're going to say, hey, can you tell me that secret because I forget what it is? 51st dates. Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. He has to write things down for her to remember. Maybe it's a video and she remembers everything, so it's kind of like that. So Adam would be the constructor here. All right, so since we got that out of the way, now we need to create a constructor. So let's just go right here. Actually, I think we need to add something else before we create the constructor. Just realized because I come over here, I'm like, what is this? I don't have anything here. So let's do this first before we do the constructor. So let's do a public string, device ID, public string, token, need this for the constructor to work, and public string device type. Perfect. All right, now we can do the constructor. So I'll right click here, we'll click generate. What the heck? All right, well that won't work. I need to do it within the class. Let's try that again. Generate, and there we go, constructor. And so what we want to do is select all these guys because we're using them all, and hit OK. And there you go. So it's going to say string, which this information will be passed in, and it'll be able to use this information in our code. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go back over to main activity, and let's go to our save items. Well, down here, save items. So let's come in here and let's do this. We're going to do items. Items. Oh, doesn't like something. Equals new items. And then we're going to do the device ID. We're going to pass in a token. Then we're passing device type. Alright, why is it not like that? Oh, because I have it under underscore instead. Jeez. So let's do this. And let's change this. Let's change this around. Let's refactor this because this is checked up. So I'm going to do refactor. I wanted to make it uppercase. So refactor it. Now that should be fine. There we go. And now it's just this saying it's never been used. Perfect. All right. So now let's go here to the Firebase. And we need to connect the database. So hit that. I don't know what's going to happen here because I already have this set up. Add real-time database. Make sure you figure out what your version number is. So 16.04, it's doing something. You might have to rebuild, you might not have to sync it up. That seems fine. So then I'm going to go over to Gradle, over to the app here, and what I need to do is I need to define a new section here. So let's do define, and we'll call it Firebase. You could call this anything, guys. Firebase, database, version, and remember that version that we used was 16.0.4. And then we need to say that we're going to implement it down here. So I'll do implementation. Do com.google.firebase. Firebase database. And then we'll do Firebase. We'll grab that database version up there. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so that's our dependencies. So let's leave that for now. Let's go back up here. We need to declare some more stuff up here. So we need reference to database. I almost feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm sure I am. So we'll do public static final string. I'll call it FB for Firebase, and we'll call it users equals users. Perfect. And now what we want to do is add that to our section. So let's come back down to our code down here. Where's that? Let me think here. All right. I'm going to do it to our save items. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do database reference. Oops, I think it came up. Database reference, we'll call it DB users because our table is called users, equals Firebase database. Firebase, there it is, database, right there. And we'll do get instance, and we'll do dot get reference, and then we'll reference that FB users that we had up there. There we go. Excellent. Now we need to import that library. So let's do import. It didn't pop up, but eventually will. Google.firebase.database.firebase database. There we go. So that way we can use it. Let's see, what else am I missing? So let's make sure I still have that. Yep. That's fine. So we have our save items here. And then we have our exception that if that blows up, so that's fine. So now let's come down here. There we go. All right, so let's do DB users, and let's do dot child. Just gonna leave that blank because we're not having anything there. And then we'll do dot set value, and then pass in our items. Dot add on. All right, complete listener. Pass in task. All right, so something's not working here. This should have popped in for me. So let's stop this over. Something is not right. Should be done one there. for this to populate stuff. There it is. So we want add on complete listener, and then we could pass in tasks. Huh. It's a word. I should have copied this in here. Not sure why it's doing that. Alright, so I copied that in and it changed it for me. I'm not sure why. It was being so weird. So I'm gonna put nothing here, which is fine. Alright, so set value, add on new listener, complete listener, sorry. That's not right. Items that, that's not right at all. Let's copy this code. Because this is not right. Paste this in here. So I don't know what that is. But I know what it is, it's not right. I'll just type it out because it's not right. It should be task. It should have one of these guys here. I don't care if it doesn't populate, I'll do it myself. And then I'll say if task is successful, something's messing up there. And then I'll say if check permission, if check permission, we'll do manifest, and we'll check permission, and then we'll do send. We don't want. We're not sending a message. Hold on. Let's do this. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was doing something different before. I was going to do a message here, but we're not. So let's see here. So if you say else, and then we get those something up here. Let me see real quick. We'll just say that should be over here. So let's say if it's successful, we'll say post dot make text. This that didn't work either. Something's off. We'll say message saved set. And our toast dot length. Make it short, and then it should be dot show. Yeah, the IntelliSense is not working for some reason, but whatever. Oops. There we go. Then else, if that doesn't work out, we can do toast dot make text. We did this. There we go, picked up now. And then we can say permission denied. Whatever your permission was denied. And then we'll do toast dot less short, and it will be dot show. There we go. And let's perfect. That took a while. So this right here, this call right here will call the database and make this save change. All right, I think that's it. I'll sync this. All right, so let's get in and hit run. It's installing it. Where's that? This token. I don't know if the toast came up or not. Let's go over to my database. And there we go. So pass in the token, pass in the device ID, all that information has been saved. So this right here is important because this will be how we send a message using notifications. So we'll be in upcoming videos, we'll be using the notification for Firebase, and then in future upcoming we'll actually build like a Node.js interface with JavaScript, and we'll set up some stuff, and what we'll do is we'll punch in the messages through there, and then what will happen is that information will communicate with FCM, which is Firebase Cloud Messaging, and then it will send out to the user, and then we'll show how we could pass that information into, because we'll have to make a call to our MySQL database and grab the token in order to make the message to be sent. So that's in our next video. We'll work more toward that. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk soon.